After recording what follows, I decided to put the summary at the beginning. And this is what I'm going to suggest. To open a family in the title blocks folder 11 by 17 that already has the title block in place, and then save it as a different file name in your own folder so that you can modify this title block to look like yours. Now, what I'm looking at here is another family that can be modified to take care of your section and title blocks and your scale. And I can send you a different video that shows you how to open up that family to create your own title blocks. So the only thing I see in this one that's yours here is this logo and some text here at the bottom and a little bit of line type that's different, this kind of dot dashed. So you can modify the PDF, turn into a JPEG, modify it so that you have a JPEG image of this logo and whatever else you think you might want to bring over. I think that by opening this title block that already has text, you can start to use some of this text because, for instance, this label already has in it the settings that will help you to change each sheet number. So you probably want to keep that. And the connection between the sheet name and the view. The rest of it is basic text that's not linked to the other views. So at this point, you can start to delete everything else that you don't want and then bring in your image and use this sheet number. You can change the size once you have it highlighted here in properties. There are all these different text sizes that you can use. And to draw lines, when you go to create and click line, you'll see that right now there are only a few line styles in here. So what you can do is go to the Manage tab and go to Additional Settings and Line Patterns and just take a quick look at all the line patterns that are already here. But to get them into this file, in the Manage tab, you can go to Object Styles here, and then under Title Block, you can pick New and name this your dot lines. It's a subcategory of title blocks. And then once you have that as a new one, you can decide on how bold it's going to be. You have these different numbers, 1 to 16. I think 7 and 8 get to be really bold, lines. What color, and then the line pattern here is what you'll change to whatever you decide, the dot. You can even create your own, but that's, if you need to know that, let me know. So you've got this new one. I'm going to go ahead and pick OK. And so now that I'm in here, I can go to the Create tab. I'm inside the title block that I renamed. You can click on Line, and now you see how it's in this list now as dotted lines, and you're ready to start drawing those lines. And once you pick line, you have all these other draw tools that you can use, including circles. So you could draw this circle so that you can put the text inside of it. You'll probably have to go back to the Manage tab and look under line patterns to find something that might
work a little bit better for what you need.
Now this one might be a little too thin, so you might use dashed, or you can bring yours in as a JPEG. If you watch the rest of the video, you'll see how you can save this one and you start using it on your sheets. In the view itself, when you bring an image in, you have here at the top all the draw order commands in the view itself. But when you're in a sheet and you have the sheet as an image, then and you select it or select the um, the view that you dragged and dropped on to the sheet family, then there is no draw order. You can either bring the image into the view and make the views the sheets.
Not really a good idea. It's not the way that Revit works, and your section cuts and everything else will not be coordinated with each other.
The other choice would be to, because we're trying to keep the sheets under here, under the sheets in the project browser, to modify the JPEG. I actually turned the PDF into a JPEG so that you can crop it where the only image is going to be the title block itself. And then when you bring it into the title block family and create your own family from that, you'll have all of this space to work with to bring your views in, and then you won't have the image in your way. So if you want to go in this direction, you can save the PDF here as a JPEG file, and then in Revit you have a choice between opening a title block, picking families open, and going to title blocks and finding your 11 by 17. Opening a title block that already has text in it that you can maybe use when you're modifying the title block, or you can create a new family under title block folder 11 by 17, which starts with just this box that represents the 11 by 17 paper. Then you go into Insert and Image and navigate over to your image file, which it's going to depend on whether you want to, as I said before, put this image in the view and use draw order, or in the sheet after you've cropped just the title block portion. So here I can bring that image in and use these grips to resize it inside this title block, but of course, like I said, you can't use the draw order in the sheet, so I would recommend that you crop out in that JPEG file just your title block if you decide to put it in the sheet that you can use over and over again for all of the different views. So now that I have this set up and you have the image cropped out so that you don't have all of this, you can save it. When you save it as a different name, and you can save it as a family and put it in the title block folder. It's actually recommended to save all of your unique families in a different folder, because when you reload Revit, it could take that file out. So I would create another folder for your Revit families and put your sheet there, so that once you save it later in the new project file, under Sheets, you can then right-click and pick New Sheets, pick the Load button, and go find that title block that you created. You saved it as a different name and put it in a folder. Bring it into here, Revit. This would be your new sheet, and then you're ready to drag the views onto the sheet.
Okay, I hope this works for you. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can even meet you on campus if you need more help.